Still want to say? That's good.
We're hot. Call to order the Kitty Hawk Town Council, May 5th, 2014, at Kitty Hawk Town Hall. It's now 6 p.m. Welcome to those of you that came out, and we have a short agenda, so hopefully we won't take too much of your time. Would you join us in a moment of silence, Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Next, we have approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we have an agenda. Next, we have a presentation of certificate of appreciation for Mr. Dick Fagan. Dick, come on up here. Oscar? I want to say a couple words, then I'm going to turn this over to Oscar, since Oscar is the chairman of the planning board, and he's had more dealings with Dick than I have, although I've known Dick now for, 8 or some odd years. But I do want to say, and I wish there was a bigger audience for me to say this to, but the planning board is an important part, and I didn't realize how important it was until I got up here on council. They vet the nuts and bolts of what we are making decisions on. They are 7 people. I know there's only 5 that vote, but there's 7 people for alternates. And those 7 people give us another perspective of what citizens of Kitty Hawk are really thinking. So they round out 5 council members plus 7 members of basically the community and give us a flavor for what we can make a decision on to. It's very important. And we appreciate the service and the volunteerism that goes into doing that. It takes a lot of time. So I want to thank you personally on behalf of the council. And we appreciate the time you've put into it and all of the years that you put into it. It's been very helpful, and we appreciate it very much. Now, I'm going to turn this over for some remarks, and I'm going to let you, as chairman, actually read this certificate.
Thanks, sir. I'll be honored. As I told you just a minute ago, if I'd known I was going to do this, I'd have put on a tie. But he knows me, and he probably knows he's never seen me anymore. I think I want to say, in all seriousness, before I read this, no one has ever come to the planning board any more prepared than you. You've been a model. You've been a pleasure to work with. Regardless of what was coming before us, you came prepared. Your questions were always right on. You're always digging to find the facts and the truth. And you will be missed. And the town will miss you. And we're going to miss you. And I have one question. When I first met you, you were writing a book. They'll finish them.
4 of them.
I'm glad. All right, it's my pleasure and privilege to read this to you. The certificate of appreciation is presented to Richard Fagan by the Kitty Hawk Town Council, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. In appreciation of his loyal and dedicated service for 13 years to the Kitty Hawk Planning Board, including service a term as chairman of the board. We, the Kitty Hawk Town Council, wish to express our gratitude in this public forum for your contribution to Kitty Hawk. This 5th day of May, 1914, signed by Carrie Perry, Mayor.
Anyone who has served as long a tenure of years as I have, wouldn't even attempt to try to thank everybody who has been playing a
every time I took a step, so I'm not gonna try to do that. Judy Whittle, here tonight reminded me that Stu and I came on the planning board, we were hired together, and actually, we were fired together. I have to say that I want to thank you all. You know, it's an amazing town we serve because to do things of kindness like this, and for so many people who have reached out to me with moments of kindness, is just easily remembered by me if for what they did to a horse on West Kitty Hawk Road. The tribute they gave to a horse here in this town. I came from Rochester, New York originally. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And only in the town of Kitty Hawk would I see that probably. But at this moment right now, I kind of feel very, very good company.
All right, thank you for your service. Next, we have public comment. Do we have anybody signed up?
No.
Does anyone wish to speak at public comment? We don't have very many folks here. Let the record show no one came forward. Consent agenda. Are there any changes to the consent agenda? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. We had nothing removed. Now we have new business. We have a resolution providing a match for bike and pedestrian projects. John, do you want to give just a little brief?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. We have submitted several bike and ped projects for consideration of the state under what they call the SPOT 3.0 program in order for these projects to be placed on a list for future consideration for construction. The town needs to be willing to commit 20% match for the proposed projects. At this point in time, the projects have not been completed, but we are asking council to submit the resolution for these projects so they can be possibly added to the list that the state has. The 20% match for the projects can be taken from the Powell bill funds that the town receives every year, and if not used, to accumulate in the Powell bill fund. We have presented council with some rough estimates of what we might be looking at in terms of the match, but these are very preliminary, and of course, as time goes on, if the projects are approved, then we'll get more finite figures in this regard. Any questions in this regard?
Anyone have any questions? No, sir. All right, are we ready to entertain a motion to approve or disapprove?
Well, I would just like to add one of the things that you had in
okay.
here, and that is that we can also apply for grants specifically from the Tourist Bureau.
That's correct.
For the matching funds.
Yeah.
Not that we are guaranteed to get it, but that's another source that we could use.
In addition to
In
any
addition
Powell
to
bill,
Powell
That's
bill
correct.
funds, that's correct.
And if the state runs out of money, none of this happens anyway, so it may be a moot point.
And even if they don't.
All right.
Yeah, I move to the approval of the attached resolution providing match for the bike PED project that will provide the necessary 20% match for the Spot 3A bike and pedestrian projects as submitted by the town of Kitty Hawk to the Albemarle RPO. I further authorize the mayor to sign and the town clerk to assess said resolution.
Do I hear a second? Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we have it. And moving right along, we have reports from the town manager.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of things I wanted to mention to council. As of April 1st, Coastal Planning and Engineering has completed 4.4% of their scope of work for the storm damage reduction project. The work today reflects CP&E's efforts associated with the environmental documentation, planning for beach profile survey, the calibration of the S-Beach model in preparation of the vulnerability analysis, the preliminary overtopping analysis, and coordination of the offshore sand search. So that's basically a sort of an update on their progress. And they are on task. They are on task. The other thing I wanted to mention is a comment on the emergency floodwater management system at Goosander and Poseidon Street area. We gave the contractor notice to proceed on April the 21st this year, and is in the process of obtaining his material for the, well, he has obtained material for the job. It's on site now, and he has begun construction and has 45 days from the notice to proceed to complete the work. And we also did obtain that easement that the council was concerned about, and it has been recorded. So moving along with that particular project.
All right, so when that's finished, that'll give us 4, right? 4 different places to pump, counting the sump down at Bergen. Okay, all right, that's enough until we see where we go from there.
And
All right.
that's all I had for council this evening.
All right? Wow, this is going so fast, I'm not sure where to go next. All right, reports or comments from the town attorney?
I really don't have anything for you except on the storm water and the beach nourishment plan. We're about 2/3 of the way through the preliminary title searches on all the oceanfront parcels.
Okay,
So we should get that wrapped up fairly quickly and be ready to start working on the easements.
okay. And you've kind of fleshed out how you want the easements to go?
Well, John and I were talking about that, and we're waiting to see how far the engineers get with their plans. If we can get a map, it's going to be much easier to refer to their map than having to do each piece individually. So we're hoping that they're going to be far enough along that maybe we could do that.
Good, all right, good enough. Comments from town council, Jeff?
I'd just like to, once again, thank Dick for all your service and all your help my years on the planning board. You were a big help to me and a big help to the town, and I just want to thank you personally.
Mr. Fagan, also, we served together for years. You're a smart man. You're a good man. Thank you for your service, your guidance, your leadership, but most of all, for your friendship. Thank you. I've got something else at the end.
Yeah, well, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I want to thank you too, Dick. I don't know if y'all know, his wife, her nickname is Newsy. She used to be a reporter. Is that right? Writer? Anyway, but me and Dick go way back. We were on the planning board together, and we've been through some good stuff, and I always enjoyed his presence on the board. Sometimes he would kind of bring me back down to earth, and I always need that. Thank you for all you've done for the town. I'm gonna miss you. You're a good neighbor and good kitty hawker, so you qualify to be a kitty hawker, even though you are from Yankeeville. Also, I'd like to thank everybody who participated in the race Saturday. I think John was there, Melody. Melody, how did we do?
We had a 24% participation rate. I still have not heard if we won for all the municipalities or not, but 24% is pretty good.
That's really good, and we had a great time. It was a good day for it. The half marathon week and the 5K weekend, it was a tremendous success for us, our point of view, for us, Outer Banks Sport and Events was concerned. And I just want to tell y'all, just briefly, to date, we're so close to reaching, giving back to the people of Dare County $1 million. And it's because of these races, y'all. I mean, for this fool to be involved in something like that, it gives me a lot of humility because it's a big thing, believe me. And we help a lot of people by doing that. Also, it helps educational needs in Dare County, which are also very important because the people we're investing in now, those kids, are going to be our future leaders. So both of those foundations, Dare Education Foundation and Outer Banks Relief Foundation, we're approaching $1 million. That's really cool. The other thing, I want to compliment the chief. I've read in the news release that the Kitty Hawk Police Department has is part of the Dare County Narcotics Task Force. That's big. That's big, and I feel proud that we are part of that. And it is an issue out there, but the chief, you're working on it great, and I'm happy. I'm happy we're doing that, so that's all I got.
I just want to add my thanks to Dick. I've known him for several years. We went through some pretty hot meetings way back when, just before you got fired. And it really has been a pleasure knowing you, and I wish you all the best in the future.
Before I have comments, Greg, you had some stuff that
Yes, sir.
council needs to deal with.
I recently attended the Government Education Access Channel Committee meeting, and we discussed the possibility of Access Channel airing crime line information. A lot of discussion took place there, and ultimately, we were asked to come back to our council, discuss it with council, with mayor, get input, report back. We're talking about posting pictures, unsolved crimes, contact numbers, crime line. I have my own opinion, but I would like to hear council's input, and then my job is to write down what you think and ultimately report back to the committee at our next committee meeting.
All right.
Do you want it to be an agenda item for our next meeting? When is your next meeting?
We've got a meeting before our next. council
Before the
meeting.
next council meeting, so you
Yes.
want to discuss it tonight?
Yes, ma'am, please.
You know, if it furthers the work of the police and the police department, if the chief thinks that would be a helpful thing, yeah, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Been pondered different ways. The Nixle is the program that we currently use just about emergency broadcast. And the really only other way to get things out is Facebook, but I've been researching that a little bit, and I've talked to Melody, discussed it with her, and I've decided that would not be the way to go, because I've looked at it, because people just put so many negative comments on there, and there's no way to block that. We don't want that. We just want to get information out. So this is great. We have a picture right now currently I'd like to give everyone that is a gentleman stealing a woman's purse at Walmart. We have no idea who he is. These are just examples that we can, and that we could utilize with Kittle Hills. And, they solved a crime with a picture of people breaking in the Plaza Azteca. They posted that picture all out, immediately got it. So this would be great. I'd like to maybe even have when we have a serious crime or a most wanted, someone that we really need to identify quickly, it would be perfect. I'm all for it.
Thank you, Chief.
But I'll do anything.
I have a
Well, I
question.
like the idea of the controls that would be put on that, and yeah, Facebook.
Yeah.
This would only be on, I guess it's channel 191 now,
Yes, sir.
so it's not going to reach a large audience, perhaps, maybe. Or would it be on that 190, which is the Outer Banks? Do they do both of
Melody, we're
those?
just talking about the 191.
It would not be on 190, that's the charter run station.
Right.
Okay, okay.
Anything would help. Currently, I'm on the crime line. All the chiefs are on the crime line, board of directors, and Craig's part of it also. We're really kind of limited on what we do there with that,
Right.
with that board. We're not on, we fight a lot about what we should do with the information. Chiefs want to do a certain thing, and department heads, they don't. People at the board, it's kind of tough to deal with. So that's something that I think would be great.
Okay, Jeff, you got any comment?
I think if the chief thinks that it's a great idea and it would help in some of the jobs he needs to do, then I'm for it.
I'm backing the chief. Okay.
Okay, so we have a consensus, I'm on board. I'm a little surprised it hadn't already been thought about, to tell you the truth.
I personally feel the more eyes and ears we have out there, I mean, obviously, the local people will see it, but we've got vacationers and tourists who come down who, you never know. They may see somebody that they recognize that's absconded from our area, that's somewhere else, you never know. I just think the more we've got out there, you know, it's no need to hide it. We have crimes here, and we need to solve some of these, need to solve all of these crimes.
Okay, you have a consensus, then go forth.
Thank
Do
you.
wonderful things.
I'll report back at the next meeting. Thank you.
All right. And the only comment I have kind of tags on to what you folks have done as far as Richard's concerned, and we do appreciate your service, as I've said before. But when you said that, you know, you were fired before, it occurred to me that in 1986, my mother was on this planning board, and all of the members of the planning board quit in disgust over zoning, and one council member quit in disgust over zoning. So you're not alone. They weren't fired. They just up and quit. But thank you for your service. We appreciate it. All right. Do we have any public comment? This is our last public comment. Let the record show no one came forward. Do I hear a motion to recess?
So moved.
Second.
Well, we need to state it. We're recessing to May 12, 2014 for budget workshop at 9 a.m. Is that your motion?
Yes, sir, it is.
And is that your second?
That is my second.
Are we all in accordance? Aye.
For sharing.
All right, we are now recessed. Thank you, folks, for coming out.